Welcome back, everybody. We are here again on another perfect Thursday night racing around Stafford Motor Speedway with the Nexus Sim Racing crew. I got my good friend here, Jay, with me in the booth tonight. Jay, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Feeling a little under the weather, but this is some can't miss stuff here in the Nexus National 2 where I couldn't miss this for the world. I am so excited. Best iRacers in the business here at Stafford. Bear with me tonight. We're going to have a good one.
Absolutely. Jay trooping it out tonight, being up here in the booth. Look, we've got just about, 3.5 minutes left in practice here. This is a perfect opportunity to just go ahead and go through some race info here with this race tonight. So tonight we have the Stafford 80 laps around Stafford. Stafford is a half-mile track. We got a track temp right now of 120 degrees, an altitude of 511 feet. Ambient temperatures, 83 degrees, 66% humidity, partly cloudy skies, with an 8-mile-an-hour wind. This is your premier late model open setup race spot. Located in Stafford Springs, Connecticut, it's got 7.5 degrees of banking in corners 3 and 4, 9 degrees of banking in corners 1 and 2. These drivers get one quick repair tonight, one set of tires, a pace car speed of 45 freedom units, and a pit speed limit of 35 freedom units. So tonight, we're going to be watching these guys again going at it. Right now, Tim Trowbridge topping the leaderboards with a blistering 19.63. Sean Harrell currently in P2 with a 19.8, and George Oakes in that number 6 machine, rounding out your top 3 with a 19.82. Tonight, look, I think what we're going to expect here is maybe possibly much of the same. The past couple of races that we've done with the Nexus League have gone flag to flag. Some great races there that we've seen in the past of real driver talent, really just trying to get these cars around the track for 125 laps. Tonight, we're doing 80 laps. It's a little bit less than what we would normally expect, but nonetheless, an opportunity to go flag to flag tonight with these drivers, and I think it's a great possibility that can happen. That being said, man, I think I think just in general, this Imperial Motorsports crew, they're going to have a great time out here tonight. Currently, right now, 1 and 2 is Brad goes P2 on the board. Tim Trowbridge, Brad Haldane really showing their speed in this late model short track lead. Very exciting for them, too, to get some good finishes for their team. But you know what? Tonight, I'm going to go with that number 39 machine of Brad Haldane. I think that's last week Tim put on a phenomenal race there. We talked to Brad after the race, maybe just missing a thing or two with his setup, but he could have gone after Tim there at the end. So I think that Brad corrects that this weekend. Brad, in that number 39 car, my pick to win tonight. Jay, what do you got?
You know what? I was thinking this race was going to go flag to flag. That's kind of what my thought process was going into tonight. You know what? I think we're going to see a little bit of chaos here early on in this race. I think it's going to shake some things up. I think we see George Oakes find his way to victory lane. We know if a race gets chaotic, that's the man to beat. He will find a way to be there at the end. So that's my take tonight. I think he's going to do it.
Absolutely. Hey, don't forget the race last year. Was it at Myrtle Beach when George Oakes won? What an insane strategy that 6 car did to get that car out front late in the race and take the dub. A great race. Hey, look, if you guys haven't watched that race, go on our YouTube channel and watch it before this one, because that dude really put together a phenomenal race. Maybe he could do it again tonight. We are wrapping up practice right now. We're going to go straight into qualifying for pole tonight. I'm going to choose Tim Trowbridge. Tim topped the leaderboards in practice. I think that's Tim's really got this short track handled, really. Jay, you feel much of the same?
I'm feeling the exact same. He is just exceptional in qualifying. I think he's going to get the pole.
Well, he is on track right now. Let's go ahead and watch him. Tim Trowbridge starting his qualifying run now, going into turn 1. Going into turn 3 now, getting lower on the racing line. Almost to the apron. Coming across the start-finish line now. Let's see what Tim can do here. A 19.6. Very fast lap time there. Patrick Jablonski goes up on the board with a 20.22. Zach Bates up on the leaderboard with a 20.24. Tim Henderson goes P2 with a 19.78. That's pretty quick. Steven Downton goes P3. Watching Tim Henderson go around the track right now through 3 and 4 now. Let's see if he can best that lap. He cannot. Sean Harrell coming across the start-finish line right now for his first lap. He goes on a 19.9. Look how close these drivers are.
That's what I expected. I mean, these guys are the best iRacers here in the short track series. I expected them to be right up on top of each other, but this might be a little closer than I expected.
Oh, some contact made there with the wall with Sean Harrell. Matt Yost crosses the start-finish line. He gets a 20.36 at the moment, P8. 3 cars have not qualified yet. That is the 78 of Daniel Diorio, the 39 of Brad Haldane, and the 93 of Javon Thompson. Tim Trowbridge back out on track. He pulls at 19.63. Let's see if he can do anything for his final lap here. Coming through 3 and 4. George Oaks goes P2. Here's old Matty Yost coming across the start-finish line now. Let's see if he bests that lap time. He does not with the 20.12 at the moment. Sean Harrell goes P4. Great run for him so far. Matt Yost coming into turn 3. This is his final lap to put down a good lap time to try and compete. As he slaps the wall on the outside off of turn 4. Not going to be making up any time there. Still, though, we've got Daniel Diorio, Brad Haldane, and Javon Thompson waiting to have these guys hit the track to see if they can put in a quick lap time.
Wow, if that's a precursor for what this race has got in store for us tonight, getting off of turn 4 looks a little sketchy here tonight. Maybe a little bit of track temperature has something to do with that.
For sure. For sure. We saw in practice track temp was 120 degrees. That's hot.
Yeah, that's a steamer right there. Connecticut steamer here in Stafford Springs, Connecticut for this racetrack.
Yeah, forget the Cleveland steamer. We're talking about the the Stafford steamer right there, baby.
Stafford steamer, baby. Let's go. As we're waiting on Daniel Diorio, Brad Haldane, Javon Thompson to take time. We know Javon Thompson likes to not qualify most weeks, so we might not see him take a time. But Brad Haldane usually is one of the first guys to jump on track for qualifying. Maybe a threat for the pole. Maybe just going to wait it out to the very last bitter moment and send her on out there.
Oh, here we go. Oh, bad Brad right here. Lining up his Honda late model stock to go around this track. Try to compete for that pole position. He's getting his mind right now. He's about to get right. And he toes back to pit lane.
He's just trying to build the anticipation of this lap. He's got a flyer underneath him. He's just getting ready to go. Here he is, rolling now.
One of the top guys to go after pole here tonight, that is Brad Haldane in the 39. Coming through 3 and 4 now. Trying to get as much apex for the exit of the corner for the speed aspect, the momentum. Now he's going into turn 1 to start his qualifying run. All the way to the bottom, that Brad goes through 3 and 4, off of turn 4 now. Let's see what he can do here. 19.8. That puts him P4 at the moment. Maybe lap 2 could be a little bit better. Going through 3 and 4 now, hugging the bottom of the track there. Almost on the apron in turn 3. Off of turn 4 and across the start-finish line. Let's see if he can improve. He doesn't. Here's Javon now coming off of pit road, possibly. Nope. Brad Haldane still on track here, coming through 3 and 4. Getting that late apex off of turn 4 to try to get the speed down the front straightaway. And going into turn 1 now, going all the way to the bottom and swooping up at the apex and coming back down for the exit. Off of turn 4 now, Brad Haldane coming down the front straightaway. Let's see what he does. 19.78. Here's Javon here now. This is his first lap in his qualifying run. Let's see if that 93 car can get a really good competitive speed. Coming off of turn 4 now, crossing the start-finish line now. Let's see what he puts down. A 19.77. He goes P3 on the board. Oh my gosh, only slivers of hair splits him and George Oaks.
Wow, he's putting down a flyer out here in the 93 car. See what he does this time by.
19.8. Into 3, hugging the
top
bottom.
5 are separated by 1/10.5. That's crazy.
That's some good competition right there, Jay. Looks like another 19.8 for Javon here. Coming across the start-finish line to complete his qualifying run. 19.85. Daniel Diorio, the only car to not hit the track right now. And we've got just about a minute and a half left in our qualifying.
Yeah, in that top 5, we have both of the G-Force guys, both of the Imperial Motorsports guys, as well as one of the Zip Tie guys, all right up there. 1/10.5 separating your top 5. We're in for a well of a show here tonight here at Stafford. This racetrack put on a great show last season. This track is real banked in the corners. They can carry a lot of speed, multiple lines. You're going to see a little bit of diamond action going on in the center of the turn tonight. Maybe a little bit of outside line working on these restarts. This is going to be crazy.
Absolutely, it is, Jay. Again, some of the best drivers in the business here tonight in the Nexus Sim Racing Leagues. Tim Trowbridge currently on provisional pole. We've got just about 25 seconds left. I don't think Daniel Diorio is going to be able to come out and put down a qualifying lap.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say I think Tim Trowbridge just got this pole wrapped up here.
And that will become true right now. Congratulations to the 74 car of Tim Trowbridge on another pole for that 74 car. We're going to go into warm-up now. We're going to watch these guys go ahead and warm these cars up. Hey, look, how about we bring down Tim Trowbridge and ask him about his qualifying run here. Hey, Tim, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, congratulations on that P1 for the race. The pole position once again for that 74 car. How did you do it? I mean, it was so tight there between the top 5 cars. You barely edged out everybody else there. It was, what, a tenth and a half between first and fifth? Still a great competition coming out here tonight. What do you have in mind for turn 1, lap 1?
Survive. That's the best one. Obviously, I learned a little bit from last time when you asked me how long I spent, and I said not very long. So I came out here early and put some time in. Really put some time in for qualifying. Stafford's not one of my favorites, so I put in a lot of effort there. Went through like 3 or 4 different setups, and obviously stuck with this one. And it feels really good. We'll just we'll see how race pace is. Honestly, just survive through turn 1.
Are you scared about your race pace?
No. I'm more scared. I did a mock race, and about 65 laps in, I spun it off a 4 because there was 20% on the right rear. So that one felt really good, but we'll see how the race goes if it goes green.
All right.
I'm hoping it does, but we'll see.
So maybe a little bit of danger out of that right rear for the 74 car? Is that what I'm hearing?
Let's just say I'm on the limit for sure.
All right. All right, well, we'll be looking out for that 74 car around lap 65 here tonight in the race. Good luck off of turn 4, and we'll see you in the race there, Tim.
Sounds good. Enjoy, guys.
Thanks. That's Tim Trowbridge giving us a little bit of insight about his setup there. I don't think he's probably going to be the only one, though. Let's be honest here. If you've got speed like that, your setup's got to be pretty close to one another. Maybe everybody's leaning a little bit on that right rear.
Yeah, I think tonight tire conservation is going to be the key, but what I took the most out of that conversation was survival on lap 1, turn 1. That's what I said. I had a feeling tonight we might see a little bit of drama here early in this race, could shake up the entire running order. Maybe we see some of these early pit stops. We get a caution here early in this race. Maybe someone decides to pit to be conservative and be able to use those tires late in the race. I don't know. It's going to be a fun one regardless. We're going to have to see how these guys navigate turn 1 at the initial start of this race.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a fun one. I'm going to be watching these guys again go around this track 80 laps. And I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm ready to get this warm-up over and get these cars on track to get the green flag.
Yeah, the anticipation here is killing me. I mean, this is just the best late model racing you could find on the entire service. This is my favorite stuff to even watch. I love late model short track racing. This stuff is the best. We got the best drivers, the best setups, the best chassis designers out here on the service, just getting these cars set up perfectly to their liking. I mean, Tim Trowbridge on pole, he's concerned, and he's probably one of the best in the game at this. So I don't know what to expect, but I know it's going to be exciting, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see a little bit of drama play out through the stretch of this race.
For sure. We're looking at just about 1 minute left in warm-up. This is the final chance for these drivers to get a little bit of tweaking in to their setups before we go green flag racing.
I want to mention a quick storyline that we have here in this race is Brad Haldane starting P4. He's finished runner-up in both opening races so far this season. Can he best it tonight, one position better, and finally find victory lane here in Season 2 of the National Tour?
That's a good point, Jay. Maybe a little bit of chip on his shoulder here tonight, trying to get that race win for this season. He had a race win last season, and he was always up there up front competing for wins. Trying to change that tide tonight. Warm-up is complete, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to go racing here at Stafford. 80 laps around this half-mile track with the late model stocks here. Let's go over our grid. Starting on pole tonight, that is Tim Trowbridge in the number 74 car with George Oakes, the number 6 car, starting on the outside of him.
Javon Thompson in the number 93 car starting P3 with Tim Henderson in the number 20 starting P4.
Brad Haldane in the number 39 starting P5 tonight with Sean Harrell in the number 72 car starting P6.
Starting 7, that's SK Steven Doughton in the 09 with Zach Bates in the 19 starting P8.
Matt Yost in the number 70 car starting P9 with Patrick Dabronsky starting P10 in the number 23.
And rounding out your field tonight here at Stafford, Daniel DiOrio in the number 78 car starting P11.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've got all cars on the grid. We will be taking off here soon. The pace car truck going to be leading this field for a few laps here before he pulls on into the pit road to let these guys go at it for 80 laps around Stafford. It's going to be a good one.
Elbows up, hands on the wheel. This is going to be some good old side-by-side, wheel-to-wheel, short track racing. Maybe we see a little bit of bumper business come into play here in the race. Maybe a little bit of tire conservation. We might see drama on this restart. I'm ready. Everybody at home, get on your feet for this restart. This is a race you do not want to miss. The National Tour always puts on a well of a show.
They sure do. This is their first time around here. The pace truck's still out, but he'll be coming in this time by... That means we're going green flag racing. Be watching this pace truck come off the racing surface. Tim Trowbridge going to be leading this field to green with George Oakes on the outside of him. Tim Trowbridge before the race said, survive turn 1. That is his goal. Let's see if he can get that done tonight. At the start of this race, the pace truck now onto pit road. Tim Trowbridge getting into the restart zone as we speak. Green flag's out in the air, and the 74 car getting a jump over the 6 on the outside. Here comes Javon Thompson on the inside, possibly. No, not going to happen. Tim Trowbridge does survive turn 1 as now Javon Thompson and the 6 car George Oakes are battling it out going into turn 3.
As we are still side by side, Javon Thompson actually going to clear George Oakes here off the corner. We're going to complete lap 1. Tim Trowbridge leads that lap. As now George Oakes is looking to go to the inside, and he can't though because Brad Haldane's there to the inside of him. This is wild. We're still side by side here for P3 down the back.
Brad Haldane now going into turn 3, side by side with the 6 car. He's trying to make that position done and over with as he does off of turn 4. Brad Haldane now up into the podium position. Maybe a little crossover move by George Oakes. It's not going to happen. Going through turn 1 and off of turn 2, Brad takes control of that position. And your top 3, the 74, the 93, and the 39.
As it looks like that outside line was not superior on this restart. Really fading up on the outside there was George Oakes as he falls back to P4, getting challenged from his teammate Tim Henderson up here in the 20 as Brad Haldane is all over the bumper of Javon Thompson. We got battles all over the place out here.
Brad Haldane trying to find that grit to get around the 93 of Javon Thompson. He's all over the apron trying to find as much grip as he can, trying to loosen that car up in the middle of the corner. Now going into turn 1, the 39 still looking somewhere to try to get around that 93. And off of turn 2, he might have a little bit of a run here. No, he gets a little loose off of the exit of the corner. And into turn 3, not much he can do. He's not back to where he needs to be to complete a pass on the 93. Brad Haldane still holding on strong in P3.
Yeah, as Brad Haldane is looking to move his line up a little bit off the bottom, maybe try to carry some more speed through the center. He might have made wall contact there down the back. We'll have to see this time by if he does have any damage. You can't tell if he does or not. Probably not. As now Javon Thompson continues to run his pace, as it looks like he might be gapping Brad Haldane a little bit here going into turn 1.
Still now we're in a single file line coming off of turn 2. Brad Haldane maybe having a little bit of struggles trying to pass this 93 in front of him. Brad Haldane pushing really hard to try to get back to the rear bumper and complete a pass on this 93 to catch back up to his teammate of Tim Trowbridge. But he is coming under attack right now from George Oakes. George Oakes is looking for an opportunity to pass this 39 off of turn 2 now with this pack and into turn 3. These guys now getting a little bit evenly spaced. We got Tim Henderson now rounding out your top 5 at the moment. No mistakes, it looks like it is. Or looks like this race is going to be, with Brad Haldane in P3 trying to hold off George Oaks in P4.
Yeah, noticing these last couple laps, George Oaks is really able to get into the corner extremely well. He's able to rotate the center, carry that momentum. That car looks like it's on rails right now. Just trying to close that gap to Brad Haldane as he sends it in again on the bottom. He's going to draw right near the bumper. If he can get the exit down and carry that momentum into the next corner as he continues to follow him as Brad Haldane continues to run P3.
Brad Haldane now coming under attack by the 6 car. George Oaks once again. He hasn't been able to get back to the rear bumper of the 93 throughout this run, but the 6 car is surely all over the rear bumper of him. Now, coming off of turn 2, a little bit of looseness that we saw from the 6 car, losing a little bit of time to Brad Haldane there, but he gains it all back through 3 and 4. That's Steven down on the bottom of your screen. He's going a couple laps down here, plus 6 laps down right now. He had a little bit of an incident at the beginning of this race that we did not get to catch on stream. Maybe we can go back to that once this mellows out a little bit.
Yeah, as it looks like Brad Haldane took a look there at Javon Thompson that last time by. He's going to lose a little bit of time. Javon Thompson looks like his handling on exit is going away just a little bit. That's going to allow Brad Haldane to really reel him in here as they both rotate more to the outside of the track here on entry here to 1 and 2. Brad Haldane continues to chase Javon Thompson here into 3 and 4. He's about a half a car length back. He's looking a little lower than Javon. Javon's going to use a lot of track up on the exit 4 and continue to try and hold off Brad Haldane, whose car is coming alive here on lap 14.
Coming alive it is, as he's getting now all over the rear bumper of the 93. Maybe just need a little bit of time to get everything warmed up there. Lap 14 is going to be complete here off of turn 4 and crossing the start-finish line now. Brad Haldane still trying to find a move to get around that 93, going through 1 and 2 now. The 93 taking a lot of apron there. Maybe he is struggling a lot on exit there in turns 1 and 2, and through 3 and 4 now. Brad Haldane looking to make an opportunity present. Maybe trying to get into the head a little bit of the 93 and try to get around that car, but going into turn 1 now, it is still Javon Thompson in P2. Brad Haldane in P3, George Oaks in P4, Tim Henderson in P5.
As Brad Haldane does look a little quicker here than Javon Thompson. He's currently 1.4 seconds behind is Javon Thompson from your leader. Brad Haldane about to grab some wall there off of turn 4. If he's going to get a chance to challenge his teammate Trowbridge for this victory, he's going to have to make quick work here of Javon Thompson, who looks like he might be holding his pack up a little bit. And as I say that, he puts down an absolute flyer and gaps Brad Haldane, who's running P3. They've cut that lead down to 1.2 seconds. Now it's back up to 1.3 here across the front.
Brad Haldane currently the fastest car on track with a 20.183. Javon Thompson not too far behind him in a 20.195. Javon Thompson holding on very strong here at the moment. Brad Haldane just confirming our suspicions, probably having a hard time getting around this 93 car. Still now on lap 19 so far. So Brad Haldane now losing a little bit of time, increasing that gap between himself and Javon now as they exit turn 4. Running order is still the same.
This 93 car is putting down some lap times right now. He was not quicker that time by than Tim Trowbridge, but the last 2 laps he was. Oh, he got a lot of apron there. That's going to allow Brad Haldane to get a great run on him here. He's going to send it in right behind Javon Thompson here through 3 and 4. Oh, Javon Thompson got a little tight off the corner. He's a little sideways, or tight center, loose off the corner. Brad Haldane's going to draw right up to his bumper. Maybe give him a little bit of bumper business here in a 1 and 2. He's looking to the inside. Does he make a move? Javon sideways again. Here comes Brad Haldane looking to the inside.
Not going to happen this time by the 39, trying to make something happen going into turn 3. The 93 putting on a lot of defensive moves now, and going into turn 1, Brad Haldane looking for that opportunity once again. It looks like he might be getting underneath him here off the exit of 2. He does! He's underneath the 93 of Javon Thompson. Going into turn 3 now, we're side-by-side racing. Brad Haldane trying to take control of that P2 position. Javon Thompson gets loose on the top side. Going into turn 1 now, Brad Haldane takes over P2.
Oh, maybe a little bit of a crossover here for Javon. He's going to draw right up to the bumper. Brad Haldane, he's going to try and put the challenge back to the 39 car. He's not going to be able to do it. He's losing a lot of time. He slides it on in there. He sent it in there to turn 3. He's going to hit the wall here off of 4. That's not what he needed. He's going to lose a ton of time here to Brad Haldane, who is now in P2. They are 1.6 seconds behind your leader, Trowbridge. Can he make something happen as Javon is still struggling with the handling of that race car?
Javon Thompson grabbing a little bit of wall there off the exit of 4 and also getting passed by the 39. This might be the opportunity that Georgia Oaks needs now to get himself in the P3 position as he now looks to go and pass the 93, getting to the rear bumper of that car. Coming down the back straightaway now. We are on lap 25 of 80. We're getting the beginning stages of this race over with now your top 3, Tim Trowbridge, Brad Haldane, Javon Thompson.
Yeah, as these guys have all pretty much kept touch with each other. I mean, it's only 3-second gap between first through third, which is pretty relative to what we saw in practice, right, or in qualifying, when they were all a 1/10.5 from each other in pace. And right now, I think it's just about Tim Trowbridge being able to control his race up in the front, probably saving some tire. I don't know how much tire these guys are saving, but if it's any indicator of what Tim Trowbridge told us, lap 65 was that magic number where his handling went away. He looped it in a mock run race before here for practice. Can he continue to save enough tires here throughout this run, knowing how fast the guys are behind him? They can pounce at any moment.
Absolutely, they can. Hey, look at this. This battle's heating right back up here. Javon Thompson pulling faster lap times than Brad Haldane. This is going to get good here real quick, real soon. The fastest car on track currently, George Oaks in that 6 car. Javon Thompson gets sideways off of turn 4. He saves it, though. George Oaks goes by him. Tim Henderson is going to go by him. That puts Javon Thompson all the way back down to P5. That is not what he needed.
Wow, what a great save that was off of 4. I thought he was gone. He saved it, but he's still fighting this race car. Little gremlins in that thing. He's struggling to keep that thing on track, keep that thing going in a straight line down the straightaways. Is now we were going to see him fall back to P5 behind both the G-Force guys. George Oaks up to P3, and he was running quicker lap times a few laps ago. A little slower that time than your race leader. But can he get that lap time and that pace back down again and maybe set a charge up for Haldane and challenge for the win here later on in this race?
It is absolute possibility. There's Daniel Diorio right there. He's going a lap down. He's got the field behind him. Let's see what he does here. Lots of respect out of these drivers. He lets them all by as he goes real high here. A great show of sportsmanship out of that 78 car as we see this battle maybe heating up here with Javon Thompson in the top 5. Maybe trying to get some positions back here.
Yes, he's just got to settle back down. He knows that car's quick. If he could just continue to run his line and run his pace, control the throttle, control entry, let it roll the center the way he was earlier in this race, he might be able to come back at these G-Force guys and get back into a podium position here. As he's going to continue to run his line, he's back in that little middle groove there in 1 and 2 where he's been making all that time, carries the speed down the backstretch. He is flying right now. He's putting together some lap times as he closes in on Tim Henderson in that 20 car right in front of him.
The 93 car putting some flyers down. Let's see what he does this time by a 20.361. He is faster than the car in front of him. George Oaks, though, kind of pulling away there from his teammate. George Oaks pulled a 20.258. Tim Henderson a 20.398. Tim Trowbridge still leading this field. He has led every single lap so far with his teammate now behind him. That's Brad Haldane. Last time by pulling a 20.314, just a little bit faster than his teammate. He's going to need a little bit more, though, if he wants to catch back up to him. Here comes George Oaks, though. George Oaks really doing a great job to get that 6 car back up to the front, trying to chase down that 39 car at the moment. With a 20.318, Brad pulled a 20.392. Currently, though, Javon Thompson, fastest car on track right now with a 20.308.
Yeah, as these guys, looks like they're still running really competitive lap times with your race leader. Just, unfortunately, they're down a few seconds from your race leader. But anything can happen. Maybe this is a junction of the race where these guys are saving a little bit of tire. They know we're just closing in here on the halfway point. No need to push it too hard now and have nothing left for the end. as they're kind of settling in here, as George Oaks and Tim Henderson, these G-Force guys, continue to run right here behind Brad Haldane, and they are kind of legging Javon Thompson here, who's trying alternate lines, just trying to find something to work with this race car, still fighting the handling of that thing a little bit.
Right here, one of our closest battles on track between teammates. We also got a battle back here between Sean Harrell, Zach Bates, and Matt Yost. These guys have really been duking it out for the past couple laps. I've been silently watching them on the side. These guys just continue to pass each other and then get that position back. So these guys really putting on a pretty good show at the moment. Maybe we'll watch them for a minute.
Yeah, as Matt Yost up here to P6, right in front of Harrell and Bates back there in the number 19 car. As we're at the halfway point next time by here for your leader, Tim Trowbridge. But these guys continue to run nose to tail right up on top of each other. Half a car length between each car. Zach Bates uses a real low line. He's going to try and carry that momentum here down the backstretch. Maybe set something up here into turn 4. He's going to follow in his tire tracks of the 72 of Harrell. And maybe close that gap. Oh, he goes real wide. He nearly makes wall contact. What a save by the 19 of Bates.
Bates trying everything he can to get back to the rear bumper of that 72, trying to make something happen here. He gets real loose, really loose off of turn 2 there. And he's going to lose a lot of time as he tries to dive it back into turn 3. He overcooks the corner, and he does the same thing once again there. Lots of lost time there. Sean Harrell now putting the pressure on Matt Yost for P6. These guys are heating it up.
Yeah, as they are battling here, as they've kind of gapped Bates back there in the 19 car by a couple car lengths. But Sean Harrell is really using that inside line to his advantage, really able to put the pressure here to Matt Yost, maybe force him into a mistake, maybe use a little bit of that bumper business in the center of the turn. He's about a half a car length back, chasing him down the backstretch. Matt Yost running his line, not really making a mistake, kind of hugging that white line all the way around. Oh, and he loses the bottom a little bit there. Sean Harrell had a chance, wasn't able to close in just enough to make a move here into turn 1.
Now looking to the outside of the number 70. It's not going to happen this time around in turns 1 and 2, but he's going to get a great run down the back straightaway, all over the rear bumper. Now that 72 is on the 70. Going through 3 and 4 now. These guys hugging the bottom of the racetrack, trying to find as much speed, much cornering capacity as they can. Now going into turn 1, these guys still playing really hard to try and keep this P6 position that Matt Yost has. We'll see if Sean Harrell now can do anything through 3 and 4. It's not going to look like it's going to be much here. Tim Trowbridge, though, he's pulling up to the rear of this pack. You see Patrick Jabronsky there. Tim Trowbridge coming out of turn 4 just then, as the 72 continues to pound on the rear bumper of this 70 car.
Yeah, as we see here, the two teammates are continuing to battle. George Oaks goes real wide. That's going to open the door here for his teammate Tim Henderson. He gets a great run. He hugs the bottom here on the exit of 2. He's going to send it in back on the outside. Maybe use a little bit of that diamond move that we talked about at the beginning. He does use it. He just wasn't close enough here entering turn 1 to make a move. As now George Oaks goes to the bottom. Tim Henderson's going to go back to the outside, try to carry that momentum here off of 2, but he's losing time. These guys are real close in lap time. They're going to be a very difficult pass for Tim Henderson to make on his teammate here of George Oaks.
It sure is, Jay, but nonetheless, Tim Henderson put everything out on track right now to try to get that pass done, as he's still continuing to work over his teammate of George Oaks in that P3 position. George Oaks was keeping great time with Brad Haldane, but not anymore. Brad Haldane's got about a 1.3 second lead over George Oaks at the moment. George slipping just a little bit, and Tim trying to take advantage of that, take advantage of his own teammate here, try to get that P3 position. Nonetheless, Tim Henderson coming off of turn 2 now. Looks like that gap may be increasing a little bit between himself and his teammate. We'll see how hard these guys play out. Remember, Jay, we just completed lap 50. We're on lap 51 now. Javon Thompson gets to the wall a little bit, but Tim Trowbridge, in 15 laps, he gave us that little hint. Tires may be going away.
Yeah, that could be going away. That was the key, was how much tire could he save. He got that big lead and was able to kind of maintain that gap. Was he saving enough tires? Now he's going through lap traffic. That might change things, but these guys aren't saving tires as Tim Trowbridge goes by Bates, who is currently running at P8. He went by Dabrowski as well. Haldane is working his way through lap traffic. He just went by Diorio, and he sees Dabrowski and Bates up in front of him. He's got to make something happen here, though. We're running out of laps. We got about 28 laps to go right now, and he's currently 2 seconds behind his teammate Trowbridge. Can he get there? Did he save enough tires to make a late race charge to win this race?
It's a possibility. Last time by, though, Brad Haldane pulled a 20.48. Tim Trowbridge at 20.33. So, look, these guys are going side by side in front of Brad Haldane. Oh, they get a little loose. Patrick Jablonski does. But Brad Haldane goes on the inside. He makes that pass. As now he's going to try to work over Zach Bates. Zach Bates showing lots of sportsmanship here, letting Brad Haldane go by as he gets into the wall, too. Brad Haldane, though, got clear of the lap cars now, as now Georgia Oaks is facing the same thing Brad just did.
Oh, that got tight there. I was wondering where George Oaks was going to be able to take that run. Zach Bates got into the wall back there on the front stretch. I didn't know if they were going to have enough room to fit everybody down the front stretches. Now George Oaks is going to have to go on the defensive of his teammate. Tim Henderson's looking to the outside. Oh my goodness, he just sent it in there to Tim Henderson. You saw the back end almost come around on him. He's going to continue to chase him here down the backstretch as we got the Bronski up in front of these guys. Could that come into play? Could that hamper George Oaks' opportunity to hold on to P3, or will that be the window that Tim Henderson needs to jump into that podium position? As Javon's through the grass right now here on lap 57. His race is turning sour.
It sure is, Jay. Javon Thompson running into a lot of issues here, and now he finds himself back in, or still in P5. He's got a big gap to P6 of Sean Harrell, but nonetheless, not what he wanted as these two teammates continue to duke it out. Georgia Oaks, Tim Henderson going through turn 1 and on the exit of turn 2 now. The 20 car of Tim Henderson, he's side by side now with the 6 car of his teammate George Oaks. Tim Henderson, he's going to capitalize on the 6 car going real wide in turn 1 and 2. Tim Henderson is promoted to P3 at the moment.
Wow, what a move there by Tim Henderson. That was just crazy. Was able to get to the inside of his teammate. He's going to pull away now. He's got about 2 car lengths on him in a lap. He is quicker than his teammate George Oaks. Can George Oaks rally here? He's going to have 21 laps to go. Can he get back to that podium position? Can Tim Henderson continue to hang on to that P3 spot?
Tim Henderson is going to do everything he can to get a gap between himself and his teammate George Oaks. Tim Henderson doing a great job right now to put those lap times down. Try to stay in front of his teammate. Tim Henderson, a 20.4. George Oaks, a 20.5. Tim Henderson might just walk away from this.
Yeah, he's doing a phenomenal job, really kind of changing his line here. Now he's going to the bottom. He was making some great time kind of diamonding the corner, but now he's just kind of just rotating the center on the bottom of the track, just kind of running an alternate line than what he was doing earlier. As George Oaks continues to use and abuse that outside line, trying to find time because his car is just not working where he wants it to work, as he's losing a lot of time here to his teammate Tim Henderson. And currently we only have 5 cars on the lead lap. Javon Thompson in 5th is the last car on the lead lap, and he is just about a corner, maybe half a corner or 2 corners away from your leader Trowbridge from putting him a lap down.
So maybe Javon Thompson here soon might be coming under attack from losing a lap. Not what he really wanted tonight. As you see Brad Haldane dealing with a little bit of lap traffic there. Sean Harrell, he gets around him. Daniel Diorio on the outside again, showing lots of sportsmanship to these lead pack cars. Brad Haldane, though, dealing with a lot of traffic at the moment. Let's see what he can do to get around Matt Yost now going into turn 1.
Yes, he is losing time to Trowbridge, 2.6 seconds back now, but he has Matt Yost in front of him. That's the P6 runner. Can he put him in the rear view and set his charge to Trowbridge? We're going to have 15 laps to go this time at the line for your leader Trowbridge and for Brad Haldane, as Brad Haldane is right up on the bumper here of Matt Yost. Can he make the move to get by him?
Brad Haldane to the inside of Matt Yost. He is going to make it happen going into turn 3. Yes, he does. Brad Haldane getting around the number 70 car. You got to remember that 70 car is battling that 72 for position. That's some points there. So Matt Yost trying to run as hard as he can around this track, as well as Brad Haldane, as he tries to chase down his teammate now. 2.9 seconds in front of him.
Yeah, as we are seeing these guys now, Tim Henderson has got to try and get by these lap cars. They're battling for position. Tim Henderson just trying to continue to run P3. This could get tight up here as he continues to try and mount his charge back to Brad Haldane, who's running right up there in front of him. And Harrell is still hounding Matt Yost. He's going to get right up to the bumper here. Tim Henderson's going to look to the inside. This could get tight here off of turn 4.
Remember, the 70 and the 72, they're still battling for position. Here comes Tim Henderson. Sean Harrell gives that position away to the 20 car. Coming down the back straightaway now, the 72 is going to get a really good run back to the rear bumper of the 20. So really not a lot of time lost. He's going to be able to watch what the 20 does here and ride his rear bumper going through these corners. Maybe make the pass on the 70 as well. Going into turn 1 now, the 20 and the 70 are side by side. Here comes Sean Harrell once again. He's looking for that position as Tim Henderson now works his way past lap traffic.
Yeah, that was a great job there by Matt Yost not to lose any time, but Tim Trowbridge just crossed the line for the Digga Boys. 10 to go here at Stafford. He is on a mission. He's already put 3 seconds on his teammate of Brad Haldane. He is doing a phenomenal job. His tires don't seem to be wearing out, still running very good lap times as he's going to get to the line this time for 9 to go as he sees Javon Thompson 5th place right in front of him.
Tim Trowbridge, what a dominant performance again he put on tonight, or he's continuing to put on tonight. The race still isn't over. Anything can happen. Let's watch this 74 car real quick. Let's see how loose he is off of turn 4. We know we talked about his car setup at the beginning of this race. He looks to be fairly stable at the moment. Brad Haldane now going through 1 and 2 off the exit of turn 2 now. Look how much apron he's getting there, trying to get that car to oversteer just a little bit off the exit of the corner. Maybe struggling a little bit there. Brad Haldane in the number 2 position, and here is Tim Henderson possibly chasing down the 39 car. He is a little bit quicker. Let's see what these lap times are now. Ah, no, he lost a little bit of time there to Brad Haldane. He's gonna have to pump up those numbers here to try and make a run for it if he wants. We'll see again coming off of turn 4 here. Brad Haldane pulling a 20.39 and Tim Henderson pulling a 20.43. So 2 laps in a row there. He lost some time. Maybe not in the mix for tonight for Tim Henderson here.
Brad Haldane is cutting 0.8 of a second out of this lead over the last 4 laps. I've been watching the lap times. He's been running quicker, and the gap is shrinking. We have 5 laps to go, and he's got this thing down to 2.2 seconds. Is the 74 car fading? Does Brad Haldane have enough time to make a late race charge at his teammate, Tim Trowbridge?
This might get good here. Let's see what Tim does this time by a 20.46. Brad, a 20.27, so 0.2 every lap. It's not going to be enough. Maybe a mistake that we might see out of this 74 car, and Brad can capitalize on it. I don't know. That's Javon Thompson right there in P5 in front of Tim. He's still got to ride it out for 3 more laps. He is closing. He's closing big time here. Tim a 20.444 and Brad a 20.224. That's another 0.2 off the lap.
Brad Haldane is reeling him in. He's got it down to a 1.7 seconds, 1.6. And Trowbridge has Javon in front of him. And that car is really quick. It's going to be tough to pass. We got 2 laps to go. Tim Trowbridge is losing a lot of time here to Brad Haldane. Oh, and then Javon sideways in front of your leader. This could slow down Tim Trowbridge. It's down to a 1.5 seconds. We're going down the backstretch. We're coming to get the white flag this time.
Oh, Javon's around! Right for the leader! He saves it!
Brad Haldane avoids!
Caution's out! That's the race! Right there! Tim Trowbridge!
Goodness be!
Tim Trowbridge is your winner. We do not do overtime here with the Nexus National Tour.
The drama on the final lap was insane. Brad Haldane cut almost 3 seconds out of that lead. He was down to 1.2. Goodness be, what a race.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Checker flag is out. Tim Trowbridge, your winner tonight at the Stafford 80. Brad Haldane coming in P2. Tim Henderson in P3, making that celebratory pit road run right there. Still coming out P3. All right, Jay, let's go ahead and bring up Tim Henderson. Talk to him about his race. Tim, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Where did I finish?
Tim, you finished P3.
Oh, it's saying I finished P2. I fucked up. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't say that. I pulled a Mark Martin.
Oh.
I thought it was gonna be a green white checkered. So I went in. I was gonna take 2. I was like, oh man, let's go. There you go. I'm gonna have the inside, and I was like, oh man, I'm just gonna fucking get it right in there and turn 1, and it turns out that it ends under yellow.
Yes, sir. Ending under yellow. No overtime finishes for this Nexus national tour. But nonetheless, you had a great battle with your teammate there of George Oaks for that P3 position. Why don't you talk a little bit to us about that battle? What were you and George communicating to each other with, and what were you trying to do there in those closing laps before you took that position?
I'll be honest with you. We had a phenomenal set from the last time we raced here. We needed like the full race to play out. We got a shortened race today. We just needed a longer race. I think that could have helped us out. Between me and George, we were just trying to save enough fuel and tires just in case we had that yellow, and we got it, but it was too late. And I hate that I took the podium from him, but it was fun. It was fun battling him. I told him that if I'm gonna pass him, I'm just gonna fucking pass him. I'd rather work for it than have him just pull over for me.
So, Tim, also during the race, we had a couple of concerns from some other drivers about some tire wear there. Did you have any concerns about tire wear late into this run?
I got the message with 7 to go to watch the right front, but that was the line I was using. Chewed up the right front.
Yeah.
Entering in shallow, letting it drift up about a half lane, and then cutting it back down uses up more of the right front. Staying on the apron loosens it up, so I just kept going after it. It didn't matter anyways. It was only at like 50%, so I probably could have. I wish there was a couple more laps. I probably could have had a shot at maybe getting to Brad, but everyone's so fast. It's hard to make up any time in a short period.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, well, congratulations on your P3 finish tonight. Tim, who do you have to thank for your P3 finish tonight?
I want to thank everyone over at Martin Sports, G-Force, Stacy Strong Organization for putting out this fast number 20 and number 6 car out there. I want to thank Dallas. He didn't make it tonight. And Benoit, who will be around shortly.
All right. Benoit is coming back. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, look, congratulations again on your P3 finish. Thank you for coming out and giving us some great content. And Tim, we hope to see you in the next one.
All right, thank you, buddy.
That was your P3 finisher for tonight. Let's go ahead and bring up Brad Haldane, your P2 finisher. Brad, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
How's it going?
Hey, Brad. Hey, common occurrence here. I always got Brad Haldane up in the broadcast booth after the race, but hey, congratulations on your P2 finish. What did you need to catch Tim Trowbridge there at the end of this race?
Let's see, about 5 more laps or a green, white, checkered.
Look, you were chasing him down. We were noticing really just about 10, 15 laps before the end of this race how much time you were gaining on Tim there. It started out real small, but then it gradually just increased. Did you think that even with the lap car traffic that, Tim was battling with, that you could get back to the rear bumper of that 74?
With a few more laps, yeah, most likely, because his car just seemed to fall off like a rock, which was very beneficial for me because I set this thing up for the long run, considering what happened last year with this, and or at least in last season. Um, Definitely set it up for the longer run. Kind of saved my tires through most of it. I was keeping an eye on the pace, and we were, fairly running fairly close lap times, lap after lap, and I knew it was going to take something for it, and it just seemed to. He started falling off at around 70 or so. The gap ended up getting there too much. A few lap cars got in the way there, and just wasn't able to get it done.
Well, I mean, nonetheless, a great performance tonight with that 39 car. But we had a couple of concerns. I asked Tim this same question. We had a couple of concerns from a couple of drivers that maybe at the end of this race here, you might be seeing some tire concerns. Did you experience any tire concerns there with maybe 10 or 5-10 laps to go?
No, I had this car set up pretty well. This car was phenomenal. I think I only ended with 65% on both the right front and left front, so the car was able to handle without, burning off a whole lot of tire. Wasn't too loose, but just loose enough to help get around the corner, and that was able to help me save a little bit of tire and try and be there for the end, knowing that Tim was going to drop off. But I just ran out of time.
Ran out of time there for the number 39 car. Brad, congratulations on your P2 finish. Who do you have to thank tonight for this P2 run?
Oh, this Printwell Pure Letter Honda was absolutely fantastic. Amy, my beautiful wife, let me do this on a fairly nightly basis. SK for putting on this fantastic league. It's fun to race in. I wouldn't have it any other way. This thing is such a blast. Doesn't matter if you're running last or first. It's always fun no matter what.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming out here tonight, Brad, giving us some great content, and congratulations again on your P2 finish, and we hope to see you in the next one.
Thank you. Now it's a long drive to go to hockey at 11 o'clock, which really fucking sucks.
Well, you have fun with that too, Brad. We'll be
I
cheering
will.
you on from the sidelines.
Have a good one.
All right, we'll see you.
Have a good night.
All right, let's go ahead and bring up your race winner for tonight of Tim Trowbridge. Tim, this is Thomas and Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, you come out here tonight, you dominate practice, you get pole position, you lead every lap, and you win the race. What a dominant performance you put on, a clinic. Were you or were you not concerned of how fast Brad was coming up behind you?
I think I gave you my warning in the post qualifying. I said it was going to be about lap 65. Let's just say you pushed for the first 2 or 3 laps to get a gap, and I saved for about 70 laps. And at 75, it just fell off a cliff.
Wow.
I knew it. Like 72 to 75-ish. Like, I don't know if you could see on the broadcast, but she was getting nice and loose out of 4, and I was really having to check up, really, really slowing the pace down. Luckily, I built a nice gap of 2.5, 3 seconds to Brad, and I knew I needed it, and he was coming quick.
Do you think that Brad could have had anything for you if that caution didn't come out at the end there?
I think we had enough of a gap at the end. If we had green, white, checkers, I don't think I had it. If we had 5 more laps, I don't think I had it. I think we played the cards just right.
There you have it, a very confident driver of that number 74 machine. Tim, one more question here. What was going through your head when you saw the 93 spinning right in front of you in turns 3 and 4?
Flashbacks to way too many races that something crazy like that happens. Honestly, the first thought in my head was, well, shoot, if we have green, white, checkers, I'm screwed.
Why? You had some tires in there in the pits.
Yeah, the green white checkered. I don't know if you're coming down pit lane, because all it takes is 2 guys to stay out, and you don't have enough.
Passing.
I don't think
passing
yeah,
is
it would've been
too hard, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And those old tires, you'd probably have to take the gamble and pit, but all it takes is, like I said, a few guys staying out. It's not going to matter. Too short.
Well, there you have it. A little bit of concern, possibly, if we did have green-white checkers. But nonetheless, working out for Tim Trowbridge tonight. Tim, who do you have to thank for your race win tonight?
Well, first off, as I try to always say, you guys up in the booth do one heck of a job. So thank you. Always making us look good. Unfortunately, I felt like it kind of may have been a snooze fest. I don't know. I'd have to watch the broadcast back.
Never.
Sounded like there's a lot of good racing, but I know you guys make us look good no matter what. Thank the Nexus guys. Thank you all for putting on such a really fun racing series and always letting us do this. Thanks to Imperial Motorsports boys, always giving us fast cars, showing off as much as we can. And thank the family here at home. Let me do this crazy stuff all the time.
Absolutely. Thank you for those kind words, Tim. Hey, thanks for coming out once again here, giving us some great content. And congratulations on your race win. And we hope to see you in the next one.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. There you have it. That is your top 3 finishers for tonight. Tim Trowbridge going ahead and getting the win. A clinic that this 74 car put on. Once again, leading this field from flag to flag, getting the job done, getting that race win. It was going to be a great race at the end there, Jay, to see the 39 get back to the rear bumper of the 74, but just not in the cards tonight. Nonetheless, some great battles we saw on track between teammates Tim Henderson and George Oakes, really putting on a great show there for that P3 position. Then further in the back, we had a great battle between Matt Yo, Sean Harrell, and Zach Bates. So, battles all over the racetrack, flag to flag, or not really flag to flag. It was a flag to caution to end the race. But nonetheless, Tim Trowbridge coming out once again and putting that clinic on.
Wow, what a race. I mean, this series just puts on wonderful shows. I mean, Tim Trowbridge was the guy to beat tonight. He precursored at the beginning, though. 65 laps into a run, his car falls off a cliff. He said that he saved and saved and saved, and it almost wasn't enough. As Brad Haldane got his fishing pole out late and reeled him in, he closed 2 seconds off that gap. Unfortunate for him, though, was 1 lap too short because we see a caution late that ends the race, saves the day for Tim Trowbridge and that 74 team. Wow, what a race. We saw great battles all day. Midfield battles were insane. Battles for Matt Yost and Sean Harrell early on, as well as the teammates. Brad Haldane mixing it up with Javon Thompson there at the beginning of this race. Just another great race from the National Tour. The best iRacers in the business and the premier short track open setup racing on iRacing here tonight at Stafford Speedway.
Absolutely a great way to put it there, Jay. Hey, look, we're going to wrap up this broadcast here real quick. I just want to give a couple of shout-outs here. Dallas Seward, a great supporter of our channel, being a membership here and supporting his 2 favorite guys here, right? Thank you, Dallas, for taking that option. It really helps us out. If you guys want to join the program too, make sure you guys click the link in the description below. It'll take you where you need to go, or you could go to our channel and join our membership there. Check it out. We got plenty of different tiers there where it best fits your budget. Every dime that goes to this goes right back into the broadcast to create a better experience for our fans. So thank you very much, Dallas Seward. It means a lot to us. I also want to give a big shout out here to the King of Camo. Make sure you guys go and check their YouTube channel out there in our featured channels. If you guys like firearms, if you guys have a passion for firearms and modifications, make sure you guys go check them out. They do anything from mild to wild, and anything that you guys can think of, they can dream up. So make sure you guys go check them out. Go give them a like, subscribe, and a follow. Tell them that the Dega Boy sent you. It means a lot to us and to them. Real quick here, I'm going to hand it off to Jay real quick to talk a little bit about our podcast segment and what we got going on this weekend.
Yeah, make sure to tune in Saturday, Petit Le Mans, for the final race of the IMSA WeatherTech Challenge Series season. Great points battle there. We'll be here live on YouTube Watch Party. Turn it on another screen. Turn us on your phone, your tablet, your other TV, and come and watch the race with us. It'll be as if you were on the couch right next to us watching the race, give you our live reactions. Can't miss it. We talk about everything in there. It's kind of a free forum to communicate with you guys, our fans. You guys voted upon it. You guys wanted to see it, and we are excited to bring it to you. So make sure to tune into that. And then every Tuesday night, podcast, Full Send Half Mass podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We talk about everything that involves the motorsports world. We are the hub for motorsports on YouTube. We are the best platform in the world for motorsports action. Make sure to tune in. Enjoy our hot takes. Enjoy our predictions, our reviews, any other topics that come along with that. Make sure to tune in every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
The hub for motorsports. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Jay puts a lot of work into the channel. Every video you see he has done a lot of work to put into this channel. Make sure you guys go check out all the other content that we have. We've got videos for all the likes, whether you like F1, IMSA, WEC, NASCAR, I mean anything, IndyCar. We've got the pilot challenge on there as well, so make sure you guys go ahead, watch some videos. It means a lot to us as well. We want to thank everybody who's also liked, commented, and subscribed on any of our videos. It means a lot to us, and getting our name out there on the algorithms. It is a hard thing to do, but it is not impossible, but entirely possible with the support from you guys, so we truly appreciate it. This is Thomas and Jay in the booth, broadcasting straight to you guys from Stafford Motor Speedway with the Nexus National Tour. We want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.